this is Alex for the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. For more videos like this, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and find our weekly Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
So that moves us into our next segment, and I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm actually pretty excited about this one, where we've got retire, rehire, or new hire. So we're going to go through the list here of the quarterback carousel, and we're going to start with one that we already know the results of, right? Eli Manning was going to be a free agent out there. He already decided to retire, so we can mark that one up there as a retire. Alrighty, guys, so looking at Cam Newton, we discussed him a bit. I know that Kevin and I both said we had him staying in Carolina with a rehire. But, Alex, you've got him as a new hire elsewhere. Where you got him going?
I've got him going to a place probably like in Indianapolis, and I'm sure throughout this segment I've said that like 9 quarterbacks are going to go to Indianapolis, so forgive me if I've already said that, but I could see him going to an Indianapolis. I could see him going to maybe like a Jacksonville or something, but I don't see him staying in Carolina, and here's the reason why. Carolina has a new owner, and that new owner is going to want to make the team his. How do you do that? You get rid of the coach that's been there for a while. You bring in your head coach. You bring in your GM. You get your people in place. Cam Newton is not one of his people, and that's why I think that Cam Newton will not stay with Carolina, because there's a new owner that wants to bring new excitement to this team, and I don't think you do it with a 30-year-old quarterback that's coming off of a year where he didn't play because he was hurt and could never fully get healthy. That's why I say that Cam Newton doesn't stick around with Carolina. I think he could go to a place like Indianapolis, could go to Chicago. I think that could very well be a landing spot for him if teams are willing to deal for him, if Carolina's willing to move on and not ask for the farm for him in a deal. But that's where I see Cam Newton's playing days in Carolina are done.
Yeah, no, I think you've got some merit there. However, if you're going to predict that, if he's no longer in Carolina, I think the place that he probably ends up is in Washington. Right, Washington's convinced that Dwayne Haskins is their future. There's an easy connection. Ron Rivera and Scott Turner are both there. His head coach and previous offensive coordinator. Dwayne Haskins and Cam Newton have somewhat of a similar skill set. So who better than a former MVP to bring in and have teach your young QB the ropes?
The reason I don't think that'll happen is because the Redskins are still on the hook for Alex Smith's contract. That's a ton of cap that they're eating up right there. Same thing with what's going on in Jacksonville. I don't see him, if he were to leave, I don't see him ending up in Jacksonville. They're on the hook for too much cap. If Cam Newton leaves, okay, let's play this game. Who's coming into Carolina?
Well, they are drafting pick number 7.
They're going defense in the first round.
Right. And
if you
go
so?
number
even with Matt Rule.
Yes, if you go number 7, Tua's probably gone, Burrow's gone, and Justin Herbert's probably gone. So who are you going to take? Love out of Utah State?
But I don't think that Herbert is
Derek
gone.
Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn.
I could see them doing something to move up. Or it could be a situation where Kyle Allen's going to be your guy for next year. You just eat it while your defensive first-round draft pick develops, and you hope for something next year in free agency, and you just
second round. Jake Fromm.
That's a very, very possible. I mean, look, you don't have to be a first-round quarterback to be successful in the NFL.
No, not at all.
I think that's been proven time and time again. So yeah, it could be a second round or a third round or a fourth round guy. Matt Rule's gotten a good look at what Jalen Hurts has to offer in the 1 year that he saw him at Oklahoma. It could happen. Jalen Hurts is a serviceable quarterback who can sling the football around, and why not bring in some excitement? People know who Jalen Hurts is. That'll sell tickets.
And who better to teach Jalen Hurts the ropes than, I don't know, a Cam Newton who also has a similar type of skill set as a Jalen Hurts.
Could be, but I don't know. I think the Panthers are done. They're moving on. They're moving on from Cam Newton.
We'll see where this one shakes out. I think.
And Cam Newton is rehired.
Alrighty, guys, that'll do it for the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. That'll wrap up another episode. Thank you for joining us. Make sure that you are following us on the Twitter at Good Old Boys FF. You can also find us on YouTube with the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football channel. Facebook, we are at Good Old Boys FF. If you haven't done so, be sure to click the like and subscribe button. We'd also love for you to hit the rating and subscribe button to wherever you're listening to this podcast. Now, for Kevin and Alex, I'm Derek. And